the reason why we starting the rebranding process, and we've been thinking about this for 10 or 15 years, is because we realized that we have to make sure that we are telling our own story. When we go into a new power plant, it's going to be controversy, and if the dialogue is controlled by the people that are opposed to what we're doing, we might get into trouble and we might be pushed out. So we kind of figured out the reasoning behind going into a rebranding process was not because we wanted to sell more electricity. Selling electricity it's easy. It's really easy. We are sold out every year from until the last kilowatt hour. When you're in renewable energy, you have to do it because if we're not selling that kilowatt hour, we're blowing it in the air as steam. So that was not the reason why we went into this. We went into this project because we wanted to make sure that we would have the support of our community to grow further. Why I came here was that when we have these meetings with all of these marketing people, I sit there with my Excel sheet, which I'm a lot more comfortable with than any Photoshop or whatever you're doing. And I'd say, budget, money, how much does it cost? What will we get back? And that was the initial idea. The reason why we hadn't done it before was that I couldn't find the ROI. What would we get back if we would do this? We would not sell more electricity because we don't have more electricity. Probably not going to get so much higher prices in a closed market like Iceland that it would make any sense. But again, if we want to grow, if we want to have the trust of the community, we have to do this. So we said, okay, let's do a budget, let's do this, let's get approval from the board and the management team, and let's go. Then I started learning how this works. You create a budget, and just as a starting point, you should multiply it with pi. Then you're getting there. Then it's all about how many people are going to be involved, the number of stakeholders, and that is multiplied by the scope of that. So it's a clear delta of the scope, meaning that if you have a steering committee, then you have the management board, then you have the board of directors, and this all adds up to the cost. But that's not all. Then you have the kind of the CEO's last minute ideas. I'm wondering if Samuel L. Jackson was like an afterthought. Should we get Samuel L. Jackson to do this? Yeah, let's add 10 million euros to the project and get into this. And this is in the power of infinity. So you never know how this will go around and around and around and around and around. But again, I felt like it was my job to kind of drag you dreamers onto the ground, you marketing people, and just give you a warning on that. The branding exercise is going to be expensive. But we still kind of convince ourselves, and I'm pretty sure it's true, that it's going to be worth it.